Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, keenly awaited, highly anticipated edition of the Trading Floor with your humble host, Angie Barbosa, Jeremy Alexander Newsom, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food, reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade it. Boys and girls, legends and legendettes, traders from around the world. Hope you're doing great. It's Wednesday. Man, this trading stuff sure can be taxing, huh? 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 April 15th, tax day? I sent a message. What are you talking about? Oh my God,
that was
great.
bad. That's bad.
I sent a message to the Real Life Trading team last night to let them know that Real Life Trading and myself personally, we were all paid up and tax ready to go, done. Everything is set, finished, finalized, and completed. So that makes me happy. That's a good deal. First, I just thought about that really last night, Angie, that this year is the first year ever that I've done business taxes for a business that I am a part of. That distinct privilege.
The first year we've had that distinct
Yeah.
privilege, right?
That's interesting. So anyway,
Yeah.
Maria says
A
my
milestone.
condolences.
Maria.
Oh, man.
Yep.
Well, it's gonna be exciting. We'll see what's going on. Pat's for next year. For next year, that is for sure. Next year. All right, so here's the DIA. DIA, we got some support around 117. I'm sorry, 176.14. We got a little bit of some lower highs. We're slightly breaking out today, which is good. So I guess my overall thought process is I don't necessarily know if we need to close above here to be directionally bullish. What I'm really waiting for is just maybe a small flag, stair step, some type of rest pattern and a continuation, but I am more bullish than bearish, at least non-directionally. And I'm also considering maybe even a 174, 173 May bull put spread as well. So since today is Weeklies Wednesday, we're going to look at some weekly spreads. Let me also just check and see what kind of premium is out there for May, because if we can get down there, maybe not fully May, maybe like a May week 2. May week 2, so 4 weeks or so of expiration. Let's see what we got. 174, 173. Nothing there. So we could maybe get filled at 50 and 40. So we already got the spread long term down here, and that's going to pay us out pretty well. The 174, 173, we just don't really have a lot of premium in there right now. I mean, you might be able to get 8-9 cents out of that for May week 2. So if you want to consider that, I think that's a possibility. Let's look for this week. And this week, I would do 178, 177. And see if there's any premium in there for that. There's this week. Maybe I might be able to do something for next week as well. Maybe. 178. If there's no money, we'll just move on. There's probably not going to be tons. 178, we might be able to get 7 cents for, and 177 we'd probably buy for 5 or 4. So nope, no money on the DIA. Nothing going on, ladies and gentlemen. But if you are still long, I think that's the best direction to be. Here's the QQQs. Qs are moving pretty nicely. So again, we got the May week 1 debit that we sold, the 110 call. As we were expecting, this little bit of a retracement, which did happen, and that's cool. So we're still experiencing some lower highs. I do think we're beginning to break out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm really, really excited. I just want the market to break higher, so we can all together say, see, we're not super bearish. What are you guys talking about? I think that would be fun to do. But that'll take forever. Either way, you guys we've been bullish for really since real life trading has started. We've been bullish, just waiting to buy bouncing, buy the bounces, put sales, bull put spreads, buying stock. I mean, we've been bullish. I think that's good. And this took forever, right? It took a long time to play out, and I still think it still could have one more rollover. That is a possibility. So we still got to keep that in mind. But if we really make some strong higher highs and higher lows tomorrow, I think that will be just in hindsight, probably won't work out. And if it does, we'll buy it. And if it doesn't, let's just stay long as far as our perspective is concerned. I don't think there's any reason not to. Here's the IWM. IWM, really, really nice candle today. Let's go see if there's anything for a 124, 123. I doubt there is. A lot of the spreads we're going to have to be really aggressive on if we're going to get any premium. I don't think we're going to be aggressive enough on the IWM for this week. So let's see, a 120, what did I say, 124, 123? Nope, no money there. Let me go to the hourly chart on the IWM. Hourly is a decent little retest for those of you who are looking to buy the bounce. It's a good retest gap. We cleared some resistance. You guys know as of now, I am bullish on the IWM since we broke above that really, really strong resistance. So I'm going to kind of come in here and just say buy the bounce on the hourly. This is for my swing traders and my day traders. It's for both of you guys. All right, keep an eye out. Look around. See on the IWM, if you're trading it, I would have a bullish perspective. Just kind of waiting for that pullback to kind of occur and see what happens. The SPY, here it is on the hourly. Again, we got a little bit of a retest right here. There's the retest gap. I could maybe, again, I could do a 208, 207.50. I don't think there's going to be any premium in there for this week. And I don't feel comfortable enough yet going out an additional week about the bull put spreads on the indices, because we really could have just one day where we gap down and get that that rollover that I've more or less kind of been waiting for to really go hard in the paint for some bullish trades. The 208, 207 we could get 4 cents out of. That's pretty much right at the very, very low end spectrum of what I would go for a spread. If you guys like it, I like it. If you can afford the commissions, I guess I would say. So on a $1,000 margin, you'd make 40 bucks, which is half of the trading floor. So 208, 207 for a weekly, I like it. It's a good spread. I don't think that'll be an issue at all. It's the very place on a weekly spread for the indices. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm more bullish than bearish. It might take another day or two for me to really kind of confirm this as a breakout, but I am getting to that point where I'm thinking this is it. It's very close, very, very close. If we get a retest tomorrow and then a bounce, I'm in. I think we're good to go. So there's the indices. No real weekly spreads to really speak of, at least at this moment in time. Any questions, concerns, thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, on the overall indices? Any questions about those that you guys might have? I'll wait just a few seconds. Dan, you good? Bill Bryan, you solid? Guy, you okay? Gaston, James, Kenneth Freeman, Michelle Duffy, Niels, Rick, Sam Rose, Smita, Yoav, everyone out there? All the real life traders from around the world, you good? Okay. Sweet. Let's go look for some spreads, shall we? I got a few other trades I want to look at. First Solar is going to be on our list for spreads. I think we can watch it. We got good volume today, and it appears we're going to close above 63.19. Now, this is an end-of-day trigger, so if we close above 63.19, I will be more bullish than bearish on First Solar. If we come in here to the hourly chart, it looks like we're going to get, and we might get some type of pennant pattern, something of some kind. So let's see if there's anything in here for a 60, maybe even a 61, because this is a Bollinger Band breakout. With volume increasing, we're making a higher high, we made a higher low, we have a new white soldier. I would say that this is bullish confirmation, in my opinion. We've created this trading plan. I'm ready for it, so we'll see. 61. There is no money. There is no money here. You go somewhere else. Maybe. I mean, if you got 10 cents, that would be a miracle. And if you buy for 5 cents at the max. But I don't think you would get filled for that. Because the 61, you have an 8-cent spread. So you might get, you maybe will get 9. 61.60. And that really is not that safe of a, I mean, it is a safe enough spread, but it's not mind-blowing. So in this particular trade, I would be in, I know earnings are in May, so I don't think I would personally hold over May earnings. But what I could say is 4, 15, 15, Newsom triggered in. Unless I'll come back to it in the last 15 minutes unless something radical changes, I'll get triggered in. Triggered in with May calls. May calls on First Solar. Again, earnings are in the beginning of May. So my goal is likely hold up to the day of earnings to see if I can get some volatility tax and then sell on the day before earnings. I guess that's really my goal. So First Solar, volume's increasing. Bollinger Band squeeze. It's closing above wicks, candles. Could we retest tomorrow? Yes, absolutely. And if we do, I think tomorrow would be a good opportunity to buy if we retest. I'm bullish on First Solar. No premium, though. DDD. So I got to bring this to the attention, especially on the recording, because we talked about this on the 10th of April, 2:42 Eastern Standard Time. And I mentioned that DDD would trade to the 100 simple moving average in 4 trading days or less. So here is the 410 candle. This is 1, 2, 3 trading days. Yay! Woo! So we hit the 100. Why does that matter? Well, it matters because, I mean, the analysis is right. I like when analysis is correct. But it also matters because Cheryl and Pat nailed some premium on their put sales. 46 cents. That's expiring next week. Plus, you had to, kind of a little bit of a double bottom here. You close up some necklines. You hit the 100. I mean, it's not a huge move, but it was about $1. So, look at that. The crystal ball with some of those AA batteries that Brad bought me. So, Brad, thanks again, man. He got me a gift. It's a very, very nice gift. He got me rechargeable AA batteries. I think that was pretty sweet. So, DDD Systems, very good gap, very little, small gap today. Good move, hit the 100. Awesome. Put sales, yes, it's going good, I guess we could say. What else is out there? So there's no premium right now for a weekly. That was kind of our weekly spread that we got into there anyway. Here's the list that we're going to look through for today, and the ones, I will go ahead and go through the ones that we've looked at so far. Martin, have you got filled on your FAS? If you're still there on the spread. So here's what we said we would look at. CMG, Tesla, Alibaba, Baidu, FAS, and SPY. We've looked at SPY. Let's go look at Baidu and see if there's anything going on. I doubt there's going to be any spread on the bear call. That's what I would want to go with. Let's see if there's anything for next week on Baidu. All right, so you're not filled yet on FAS. All right, so options. Maybe try 10-cent limit. Options. On Baidu, I would really like... I could do a 220, but I would like something a little bit higher. Let's just see what premium is there. 220. All right, let's try 220, 250, 225. So we could likely sell for about 30, well, at least 37 cents, and we could buy for 25. That's a 12 cents, which isn't bad for that spread. And let's see if there's any premium down here in a 200. We might be able to get into an iron condor for next week. 200. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I think we can get to a condor. It's been a while on Baidu. So we could sell for 41 and we could buy for at least 27. Which that's a 3, that's 11, that's 14 cents. So a 25-cent limit for the condor makes a 10% for next week. I'm digging that. Heck yeah. 225. 222. 250. 225, 200, 197.50. Iron Condor, April week 4 expiration, 25-cent limit. I will not even look at bear call spread unless we close above 219. I will not even look at bull put spread unless we close below 205. Boom. Baidu, Iron Condor. Bear call spread is above good resistance and simple moving averages. Bull put spread is below strong support. Martin, yep, I was just talking about that probably about 30 minutes ago. It does. It makes sense to me. I'll try my best to look at that in just a moment. Baidu, I'll put that in there. Real life trading. The Iron Condor. Iron Condor. Boom. Published idea. We'll see what that does. I can get behind that. Looks pretty healthy. Man, doing them all. 4:15. So that expires next week, not this week. That is next week expiration. So the 200, 197.50. And then you have the 222.5 and the 225 for 25-cent limit. And you get filled at the 25-cent limit because there's probably about 30 cents out there. Okay, so there's Baidu. The other one that I have is Tesla. We looked at Tesla a little bit today, and this is the best that we've got at the moment. 197.50. 195 bull put spread also expiring next week. So I know that on Weeklies Wednesday we do our best to look for spreads expiring this week, but you know, sometimes I'll take a little bit of both. So anyway, at the moment, 197.50, 195 isn't that bad. Here's the hourly, and the one thing that concerns me a little bit with that spread is the fact that this does look kind of head and shoulder-esque. So if we break below 205, since it does expire next week, then I'll also get into a bear call spread getting into the Iron Condor. This is a nice retest gap. We have retested, and the 197.50 is below both, or right at both, long-term moving averages on the hourly and on the daily. The exponential moving averages, you have the 10, the 20, and the 50 all above this bull put spread. So again, if we roll over here a little bit, I'll hop into that bear call. But right now, the only thing really holding the bear call spread in place would be the 100. I just don't know how strong that is. So that's really the only trade I have other than this guy down here, the April expiration, which will expire this week, 175, 170. So I will be keeping an eye on that for those of you who are in the 175, 170 April bull put spread for Tesla. Delta Airlines, we snuck in something, which is still valid, I think. At least I hope so. Here's the weekly spread on Delta. So it's a 43.42 weekly bull put spread 10-cent limit, which I think you could still get filled for. So I'm basing that off the gap on the daily. It really is kind of a clean gap. The 10 exponential moving average on the hourly is kind of propping up a little bit of support here. So there's your 10. It really is quite a clean gap. I mean, here's your wicks. It gaps above, trapping some people. Here's the daily chart. Kind of a decent upper wick, but you know, we're bouncing off of a longer term support area. The 100, 200, 42, 53s are really, really good support. So just kind of keeping that in mind to see what will transpire. But that's the weekly spread on Delta. If you guys are watching live or watching the recording, maybe tomorrow you might be able to sneak in on that as well, potentially. So There we go. And FAS, Martin says he hasn't gotten filled yet, but the 122, 121 weekly bull put spread for 11 cents. That expires this week. So since we have one for this week, we could also maybe consider, should I do one for next week? I'll do a 121, 120 for next week if there's any premium. FES burned me, man, like 2 weeks ago. That's okay. Markets will do that. 121, 120. So I'm thinking 87 cents and maybe 80. There's actually not as much premium there at all as I thought. So I wouldn't do it. You're looking at maybe 10 cents at best, and you probably have a better chance of wrangling a unicorn. Unless it rolls over or does something intricate. So we'll find that out. Apple, I don't have any spreads on Apple. It really is going quite sideways. Now, Chris did ask me, do I think it'll be above 125 by this Friday? I do think it'll be above 125 by this Friday, but there's not a lot of edge on this one. There really isn't tons there. I mean, you got some lower highs, you got some higher lows. There's no real gap. Moving averages are really, really sideways. If I go into an hourly chart, there's not a lot to prop it up. So on Apple, I'm just being patient, waiting. I don't see much really at this moment doing really, if anything, directional. Now, the put sale down here is fine. I'm good with the put sale. That expires next Friday. So if you did the put sale, I think there's still a bit of premium in there. And then on earnings, you guys all know my story. If we gap above there, I'm hitting it hard. It's like a 12 on blackjack. I'm going to hit. Let's go look at Chipotle, shall we? CMG. So we got a CMG expiring this week. 660, 655. We're getting much more hesitation with that than I thought we would. So let's go look at a bear call for this week as well. I really thought that wouldn't be a big deal at all, but apparently it kind of is. So if you're already in a bull put spread like Higgins, maybe you could consider this a bear call up here as well. Here's the long terms. So we're above the long terms. The 660, I mean, it's below the 100. It's below the 200. I'm not really super concerned about it right now, but let's just see if there's any money at all in a 700, 702. Nope, nothing there. What's the tightest that I would go? 695 would probably be about it. If there's not any money, no, I'm going to move on. I guess we're just going to leave the CMG Condor here. 660. There still might be money in there if you, well, no, not really. Not really. It's all kind of pretty much sucked out. But I still like it. It still's got some room. We got maybe a little bit of a flag pattern. Definitely going to be watching that, though, because we do have some black candles coming in today and yesterday, obviously. CMG, Tesla, Alibaba. So we've looked at Alibaba. I thought about doing an A382. There's the opportunity, so I'm just going to go ahead and say this if anyone out there likes it. There is the 88, 89, 83, 82 Iron Condor for about 11-cent limit would get filled for this week for my more aggressive spread traders in the world. So if you're considering that, it makes sense. The bull put spread is a little tight. I'll agree with you. So if you do maybe like an 82, 81, let's see if there's anything for an 82, 81, and maybe you get like an 8% Condor, which really isn't that bad for a week. Options. We'll look at Nike in just a moment for you. Options, 82, 82, 81, 82, 7 cents, and no, the 81 is kind of a weird spread. You might get 3 down there, so I guess it's kind of like, Okay. Not sensational, I guess, is what I'm going with. So it would be tough to really pull anything out of that. Okay. So it's either the 83, 82, 80, 88, 89, or nothing. I'm just going to more or less put that on there, see if it would work. I think it will. 83, 82, but I'm not going to do this one personally. 83, 82, 88, 89, iron, condor, 10-cent limit, expiring this week. Newsom isn't doing this trade. Just so you guys know. Not doing that one. But if you want to, I can see it. Baidu, FAS. All right, so those are done. I'm just going to look at a few more. Google, just as an update. So Google, there's a few traders in Google. A little bit of a hammer candle today. Robert Meeks in one up here. Martin Reyes is in one over here. So you got some room. I agree, Robert and Martin. If you can consider a bull put spread 530 below today's candle, I can get on board with that. If we made, I'm going to check RSI really quick and see if we made a higher low on RSI. And if we did, that's probably going to be the case. We're going to pop a little bit. Nope, we kind of made a relative low, which that's a slight divergence. I still like the spreads. I'll keep you guys, I'm going to watch it for you for sure. Here's the hourly exponential moving averages. There's a little, just very, very slight divergence. So it's going to get close. I think we could, Martin, come up into the 548 region and kind of roll over and retest a little bit. So a spread down there, since you're already in a bull puts a bear call spread, therefore getting your iron condor. Yeah. Why not? I mean, you're already in it. Good stuff. So trying to get a fill on the bull put spread now. Got it. Got it. All right, man. So there we have Google. Netflix is going to be a very exciting earnings. That is for sure. It's going to gap 40 points one way or another, more than likely. We got our straddle strangle on it virtually, so I'll be keeping you guys posted tomorrow. So make sure to come back to the trading floor tomorrow to see what that one's doing. This is the area that I want it to gap in. If it does, it's like Sylvester Stallone's career after Rocky 1. It's just going to the moon. Will be a great gap. Like Mentos dropped in Dr. Diet Pepper. Diet Coke. Diet Dr. Coke Pepper. Mentos dropped in something, I think. Yeah. I don't think it gaps above there. I think it gaps much, much farther. But if it does, boy, oh boy, that could be fun. It could be very fun. We'll see what it does. Anything else for spreads? Spread. You guys have any questions? Let me look at Chris Tom's really quick. American Airlines does look a little bit better. You know, a decent little gap. Probably some type of Morningstar-esque pattern. But he's got the 46, 45. And also $49 put sale expiring this week. So there's a chance that we might get put to stock on American Airlines, in which case I'll start turning around and doing our covered call protective put strategy, very similar to ExxonMobil. So ExxonMobil today, great gap. The high of today is 88.53. We did do an $89 covered call for 13 cents back on the 24th of March. So we just hung out here, chilled, did its thing. So if we trade up here and we get exercise at 89, good for us. Nice 5-6% return, and we can take our funds off the table and go do something else on ExxonMobil. So that's it's a good one to look at. My good friend and buddy Dean Chance, he said, I got 3 stocks that are just going bananas today in general. CLR, CLL Continental Resources. It is going bananas. Nice little higher low right there. We broke above some of this resistance, some of this gap. I think overall on that 60 is a nice target. it's a nice target on CLR. More bullish than bearish for sure. Probably going to be a slight retest coming soon on that guy. Something, you know, some kind of pullback into the moving averages and a bounce like that. So slight retest into the moving averages coming soon. Let's go look at PXD. PXD can oftentimes give us a good weekly spread as well. Really good little trade up off the moving averages. Had a bullish trigger. We want to close with 168.31. So earnings are in early May. They're in early May on PXD. I don't think there's going to be any money down there, guys. So let's go look at the weekly. See if there's any kind of... Well, let's go look at the long-term moving average. I think we're above them. Well, we just broke through the 200. You know, I mean, let's go see if there's any premium here for the hourly. It's a nice retest, and it did retest. Oh, yeah, beautiful tweezer bottom. All right, 172. Let's go check out PXD. Let's try to see what's going on this guy. This is a weekly. Weekly on PXD, 172.50. You might get some kind of fill for. I don't think it'd be worth it though. Yeah, I think I would pause on that one. If you want to do a put sale, I mean there is some premium in there, but not massively in love with it. APC, some other type of petroleum, very similar. So just really reckon on this one. $100 is a nice target on APC. I like it. Looks good. So let's go look at a few other swings that you guys wanted me to keep an eye on. Kenneth Freeman, of course. United States Steel. Really, really good little pop today above the 100. So I still do think longer term we're in some type of wave 4, which is absolutely fine. I mean, this is all appropriate of a wave 4. It's all plausible. But I'm not saying that we're going to go down by any means. We got some nice little pennant pattern like this. Ford is in a May week 1 25 put sale. So Mr. Schwartz, great job. Congrats. Hope it doesn't gap too far for you on earnings, but if you can get some really good premium off of that, I think that you would consider maybe buying to close that put sale and locking in some of your profit. This does look breakout worthy. You know, closing above resistance. You got 1, 2, 3 white candles in a row. So here's what I'm going to go with. So that analysis of the wave 4 was back in February 19th. So here's February 19th. It was right back in here. So since then, we absolutely did trade a little bit lower, you know, congest. So it wasn't really super, super exciting. So if I come in here to the hourly chart, I think we can get ourselves a potential retest trade, and that's how I would play this one. Retest to about 26, 27 on the hourly. So Ken Freeman, great job, man. Always trading your ex. Doing good, brother. I'm proud of you. That's awesome. Wait for a small pullback around 26.76 to buy the bounce. Target BOUNCE. Target is 200 SMA on the daily for a swing. So really what you're looking for my swing traders out in the world, 415.15, is looking for something like this. It's a potential breakout. You're looking for a little bit of a pullback. So here's the pullback into this, you know, support, old resistance, new support, 100 simple moving average, buy the bounce up into the 200. Stop placement, you know, around 24 65, give or take. I love it. I love it. Beautiful. So let's see what's going on. Good job, Mr. Freeman. Let's go look at Smith & Wesson Holding Company for a swing trade as well. It really did move quite nice at the end of the day, and it's getting out to that resistance. So what I want to look for is we really do need to buy the bounce on this. I mean, it's a very, very strong gap. Wait for a pull back to around 14.23-ish on the daily or hourly. Beautiful gap. Be bullish. Just buy the bounce. That's my thought. So when we looked at this, really Marsha asked about Smith & Wesson. So Marsha, high-fived you and Ralph. You guys were asking about buying Smith & Wesson, well, back on the 7th of April when I last looked at it. It was a great weekly chart. There was no put sale premium at all, as I mentioned, and talked about if we bought it, stop would go down here about 12, as you guys can see, and it just really gapped up much, much nicer than I thought. So here's your weekly chart on Smith & Wesson. Really just a beautiful, beautiful candle coming in. So the reason I said a stop around 12 is because that was the 100 on the weekly, the 100 simple. So this location, I'm looking for something like this, a pullback to this resistance around 14.23, and then some type of bounce, and let's try to make it, see if we can get that up to about $17 and some change. Again, I know that's another swing trade, so a good gap. Analysis on 4/15/15. Dunzo. Smith & Wesson. So I'm bullish. We just really need to buy the bounce, guys. Got to wait on that one. MBLY. This is one that Zane in the membrane wanted to look at. That is a beautiful gap, Zane. Mobileye. I don't know what that is, but that is a very pretty gap. It's a nice little gap and go, closing above this resistance level. Kind of getting a little bit of a rotation in. And look at the exponential moving averages. I think we can make a trade on this right now. Yeah, pretty gap. Good volume, too. So let me come in here in the hourly and see what the hourly looks like. Hourly, just as I figured, bunch of white candles. So on the hourly, I would like a close above here normally. That would be a swing trade entry. My swing trade entry would normally be wait for a close above 45.24. So let's buy the bounce pullback to 45.50-ish. 45.24 would be delightful. And really, protective put or stop could go approximately, 43.52. So you're risking about $1. And if we break this low on Mobileye, something's going on. So this would kind of be my stop. So that protective put would kind of keep us in the trade a little bit longer if it did roll down. I really like the gap. I like the candle. I like the volume. I like the wave rotation. We're above the long-term moving averages. It's about $1 risk. And realistically, we would look for target 1 to be about 50, almost 53. So it'd be 52.66. There we go. Nice job, Zane. I'm going to give you the credit on this one. Analysis on 4/15/15. I will publish this idea. Potential trade on MLBY. Nice candle, gap, and volume. Let's be long about that and go MBLY, Zane, real life trading. See what goes on. Dan Wall said BX bullput spread this week 8 cents, a little tight. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. What's it all about? Bum, 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 bum. Hey, dun, 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 dun. We might go a little long today. A lot of things to look at. We played no trivia today. This was a busy day. So we had an intraday trigger on the Blackstone group at 40.04. So therefore, I'd already be a little bit bullish anyway. Hourly chart. Here's the hourly. 39.38 is 8 cents for this week. I like it. It's the exact opposite of. I actually like that, Dan. Hit it. I'll put you on here, man. I think that's nice. Dan Walsh, 39. Yeah, that's really almost too good. Almost. If it was like 12 cents, I wouldn't take it because there's something wrong. Dan Walsh, 39.38 weekly bull put spread 8 cent limit. Another weekly Wednesday win for Dan Walsh. Analysis on 4/15/15. I would not even look at this spread unless we close below 39.61 on the hourly. See you, Richard. Have a good one, my man. Appreciate you, brother. There we go. Robert says BX is a long term for me. In since 30. Nice. Well, good for you because it's still going. BX weekly bull put spread. Nice breakout above resistance. Good premium. EMAs look nice. The bullish BX potential swing. Real life trading. BX. And Dan Walsh. There you are, brother. Dan Walsh in the house. Anything else do you guys want to look at? I'll go look at Nike for Robert. Look at Nike and then Disney. So I put this one in. 4/15/15 BX 39.38 8 cent premium. Okay, let's go check out your Nike. As far as a swing, it just might take its sweet time apparently. On a swing trade, apparently Nike's just going to take its sweet, sweet time. So if you're in bullish, great. If not, we're in this little pattern-looking thing. And I guess let's see if we can get some type of breakout. Good candle. You know, if this does not break bullish and we start breaking bearish, that's what this protective put's for. Either you could exit your trade or just buy some protection. Because if it doesn't break out of that bullishly, then I don't think it's going to break out strongly at all. Here's your Disney. Disney for Chris Tom's bull put spread, looking good. So on your Nike, since you're in bearish for the day trade and you still haven't gotten stopped out, here's a 15. I would start to look to exit some of your positions semi-soon. You know, because we're getting close to the end of the day. So speaking of day trades, since we're pretty much at the last few moments, let's just go look at our CVX trade. Just in the last 15 minutes, really getting a little bit of selling pressure. We didn't quite reach our target. So here's the 5-minute on it. We have 16 minutes left, and we're at the high of the day. We were very, very close to our target. We're at the high of the day. Let me look at the 15-minute. Could it bounce here? It could. I guess my main question is how much farther. I'm trying to wonder if let me see if I'm up an R. If I'm up an R, I think I'm just going to take it. Oh, I'm up so close to an R. I'm going to go ahead and take it off for the day. CVX position 110.47. Yeah. Let's just see what we can do. Okay, there we go. Not bad. So I'm just going to go ahead and take it off. It doesn't look massively bullish. We got a little bit of a volume spike on the 15-minute. So, hey, we got close. So if you got a 110.47 for me. 110.47. That's when I exited. 185 shares. So down about overall about a quarter of an R for today with my HCA loss. I can get behind that. Still waiting for a good winner though. But this one was nice. This helped, I guess. For the rest of all the day trades, Angie didn't do much. HCA, just some wild swings in there. So good thing we got out, I guess, right? Activision was another one that we looked at. It did continue lower. THC, it just had that resistance, that daily resistance around 52.30, broke above and just kind of started selling us back to the low of the day. So Lewis, good risk mitigation for you on that. On this stock, though, since we're looking at it, I do like it as a swing trade as well. On THC, it is a good gap today, and if we get a close above this resistance, especially if we can trade sideways for a little bit longer, a close above 53 on Tenet Healthcare Corporation, I would be, I'd be more bullish than bearish, yeah. I would. I don't know exactly where the stop will be yet, but probably somewhere in the gap. All right, so for tomorrow's Transportation Thursday, I already got CSX, so we're going to look at that. UNP, we're going to look at that guy. Tesla, obviously, pretty much every single Thursday. Pretty much every single day. American Airlines. American Airlines. Anything else you guys want to look at for tomorrow? I'll go back and look at Xzane for you. Anything else for tomorrow for transportation? Marshall wants to look at JCPenney. We can do that for sure. Anything else in general that you guys want to look at, either transportation specific or Ford? All right. Ticker symbol F. Got it. Pat says before the bell. Wait a minute. Hey, Dan. CSX on the board, FCAU. FCAU. The railroads. All right, so there we go. BX is reporting earnings tonight. I think we're just going to be paying commission on that spread then. Let me verify that. BX. BX. Wasn't that good. 4:16 before open. That is tomorrow. Well, snap. Well, give me a second then. So if that's an earnings, that's really not that good of a premium for earnings, though. It's right here. Still might work. Let me text Dan just in case he's not here. Oh, he is here. Okay, cool. Yeah, let me work on getting out too. I guess we're just going to pay the commissions on that. That's kind of weird. Again, it's like it wasn't that good. He said I didn't get in. All right, cool. No worries. Dun 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 dun. All right. So what will I do on this one? Well, a bullish break. So let's see if we do this. A gap up above 41 would be a nice bullish retest. A gap down below 37 would be a nice bearish gap. Again, that's for my swing traders and my day traders. I mean, that's a really decent pivot. If we clear that pivot, if we gap down, but above 37, buyable off the 50 EMA likely. So keep that in the forethought. So there's BX. Zane, here's my, since this one has an X in it, let's just go look at X, and here's my analysis. Wait for a small pullback to around 26.76 to buy the bounce. Target is the 200 SMA on the daily for a swing. Stop at that point would probably go somewhere in this guy. Earnings are, in the nearer future. For X usually doesn't gap too much on earnings, but forward, if you do have a put sale, you could consider just buying to close that, as I mentioned before earnings comes up, just in case. Netflix, you guys are fully aware of my thoughts on Netflix after yesterday. If we gap up there, beautiful. We're probably going to gap very, very big one direction or another. If we gap down here, that'll probably be buyable. If we gap below 400, I think that's going to be a pretty interestingly bearish gap, to say the least. I personally think we're going to gap up on earnings. Really, any gap up is a bullish gap. And I would have a bullish perspective on it if it does gap up. I'll just be waiting. So if it's a retest gap, if it's gap and go, whatever, I'm definitely keeping an eye on that guy. SanDisk. SanDisk is apparently also reporting earnings, so we've retested. This could be some cute little gap on SanDisk. If we gap below 68.54, if we gap down below 68.54, bearish gap on the daily. If we gap up above 75, bullish retest gap. It's the best I got on SanDisk. I don't mind it. There are some things there that could work. Other than that, I'm trying to think of what else SanDisk might do on earnings. Who knows? I don't know. Like, I know what's going to do on earnings. I don't know what's going to do usually. So earnings is just a whole other guess. All right. So SanDisk, we'll pause on SanDisk. Netflix. Thanks for posting that, by the way, Pat. You are awesome. Posting the gaps. KMI, Kinder Morgan. It's a good little breakout, looks like, on Kinder Morgan. We have a few white candles in a row, so really any gap up. Any gap up on KMI would be nice as a retest. The only bearish gap I would love would be below 39.50. So I would kind of say that this looks like a breakout for a swing trade. So for my swing traders, if we do gap up slightly, or if we gap down just a little bit to about 42.55, I think that could also be buyable. I'm just going to put that in. For my swing traders, a small gap up could also be buyable. There we have it. Oh, I'm sorry. Small gap down. Small gap down. Okay. What else we got out there? Kite Pharmaceuticals. We're looking at a potential swing trade or a trade earlier today. Really, we want the long-term moving average to kind of prop this one up. So we're bouncing a little bit off of it. So I mean, usually in another normal instance, I would say if we close above there, which is 64.12, stop would probably be about 57.91 on Kite Pharmaceuticals. One of the I don't personally trade pharmaceutical companies, but you got some lower high right here to kind of contend with. I don't know how strong that's going to be. You know, we are breaking this support resistance around 60.35, 61. So we'll see. Angie's List did trade down. Yeah, it did. I was looking to buy that a few times. You know, we wanted it 621 over 610. That just didn't trigger. And ever since it kind of fell out of bed right there, it just kept on going down. Good risk mitigation overall. If you did trade it bullish, it didn't trigger in on our trade in the afternoon. So it may continue, ironically enough. So Angie Liz, keep an eye out for a fade because why not? It's been doing that a lot apparently. It's been doing that a lot. So we got 4 minutes left before the bell. Boys and girls, anything you guys want to look at? Keep your eyes on. Shake Shack. Yeah, all right. What's Shake Shack doing? Shake Shack. Wow. Shake Shack. Shaking up the charts. Has some type of wedge-looking thing. A little bit of a triangle pattern. Yes. Let's buy the bounce on that, shall we? Buy the bounce. Let's go into the hourly and see where. Hourly. Looks like it's going to have a little bit of a pullback soon. So let's say... Here's the hourly EMAs. This looks like a 3. Buy the bounce, wave 4 on the hourly. On the Houlery. If I spell hourly, H-O-U-L-R-Y, what does that spell? Houlery. Buy the bounce, wave 4 on the Houlery. Wave 4 on the Houlery, ladies and gentlemen. Expect a triangle. Expect a triangle. Triangle of some kind. Put sales may work. Look to buy around 55.93 as a swing. Analysis on 4/15/15. That's tomfoolery, hoolery. Speaking of other IPOs, Box, BOX, getting some potential bouncing action again down at that $17-ish area. So keep your eye on Box for a breakout at some point. Something like that kind of forming. GoDaddy. We haven't been talking about GoDaddy very much. That's probably why right there. It is going bananas. So you can't short it. So, I mean, if it starts dropping below 25, I would be more bearish than bullish, but you can't short it yet, I don't believe. So I guess we're just going to keep waiting on GoDaddy and see what that's going to do. Let me see where First Solar is closing. Looks like we're going to close above. ExxonMobil. We got a little bit of an upper wick. I would really actually like for ExxonMobil not to get exercise on our covered call and be able to turn around and do another one for May. Maybe do like a 90-91 for May. Get another good premium as there. Nice, Chris. Good one. Ladies and gentlemen, fun day. A lot of stuff to keep an eye on as far as weekly spreads are concerned, that's for sure. Pat says before the bell tomorrow, Goldman Sachs. Let's go look at Goldman Sachs. Citigroup we've already looked at. Citigroup is reporting tomorrow. The only thing I got really for Citigroup is if we gap down below $50.25, I'll be a little bit more bearish and bullish. Goldman Sachs, really good volume, good candles, good breakout. So I would be bullish at this level. Therefore, on earnings, if we gap down slightly, look to buy on earnings gap. Bearish gap would have to be below 182 to excite me. There we go. Did I just delete all that? There we go. That's my thought. Martin said, got filled on my spread at the bell. All right, my man. I will put that in my memory bank in my brain, and I will keep an eye on that one for you tomorrow. That one should be fine. So we got a good Iron Condor on Google, man. Good for you. Good for you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world, tomorrow's Transportation Thursday. Another day, another dollar. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, remember, love life, live life, and trade it. See ya.